When I first stepped onto that land, boots crunching over brittle pine needles, lungs finally filling all the way up after years of city air and courtroom stress. It felt like I'd been holding my breath for 2 decades and finally exhaled. The air was wild out there, sharp, honest, smelling like pine sap and the cold, mineral breath of the lake just down the slope. Nothing like stale courthouse coffee or the nervous sweat of lawyers and cops pretending they weren't lying to each other. I saw the cabin, roof half collapsed, boards slapped over busted windows, vines strangling the porch, looking like a lost cause to anyone with sense. And I saw, not a wreck, but a shot at starting over. You know what I mean? I picked up that place at a county auction, a too far gone listing nobody wanted. 3 acres off-grid, woods on 3 sides, lake on the 4th, no neighbors, no sirens, no bureaucracy, just the way I wanted it. I drove out from Washington, truck packed to the gills with tools, a generator, a heap of canned chili, and every bit of hope I had left for a quiet life. Didn't have a plan to make it pretty, just needed to get a roof over my head, fix the busted plumbing, make it safe enough to sleep through the night. I triple-checked the title, went over the county records, called the assessor's office 3 times before I wired my savings. Everything was clean, and for the first 4 days, I worked like hell. Fixed the door, patched the roof, set up solar panels and cameras out of pure habit from a life spent chasing people who made trouble for a living. The first week was dead quiet, just wind in the trees, the occasional owl, and me. The kind of silence that sneaks into your bones and makes you realize how much noise you've been putting up with for years. I got too used to it, should have known it wouldn't last. On day 8, I'm on the roof replacing shingles when I spot this black SUV rolling slow down the gravel track at my property line. No plates, windows tinted dark as sin. It doesn't pull in, just idles by the trees, watching me, then backs out. Felt like a warning, but I shrugged it off. Next morning, my gate's hanging sideways, hinges twisted, and right there in the dirt is a stake with a shiny private community area, no trespassing sign. Not official, just threatening. I pulled out my phone, filmed the whole thing, walked the perimeter for evidence. No sign my land was ever part of a community. That night, I doubled my cameras, bolted the gate tight, and waited. Didn't want to fight, but I sure as hell wasn't running. 2 days later, my solar panel is tilted away from the sun, bolts loosened just enough to keep it from working. I can feel the air change. Suddenly, every creak in the woods is a threat. I'm sleeping with a shotgun by my cot, watching the monitors more than the sunrise. Not long after, I'm out digging a runoff ditch when 3 guys in matching green polos and sidearms stroll onto my land. No greeting, just, you can't be out here. This is Clearwater Bay jurisdiction. You're trespassing on HOA managed land. The leader, Henry Lott, I'd find out later, has that old military bearing, barrel chest, gravel voice. I tell him, calm as I can, that I own this land free and clear. Show him the deed, the county map, everything. He laughs, real short, real cold. You can wave your paperwork all you want. We don't go by courthouse politics. We go by community charter. This falls under us. His boys are circling the property, filming me, looking for a reaction. I keep my voice steady. Years of dealing with worse than these types. You're trespassing, I tell him. If you don't leave, I'll call the sheriff. Henry leans in, eyes dead. Try it. See how long it takes him to show up. We're faster. Then he grabs my tablet, tries to yank it from me like we're 2 kids fighting over a toy. I rip it back, drop my voice low. Touch me again, you'll regret it. He smirks, but backs off. This isn't over. They pile into a Jeep with no plates, HOA decal peeling on the back, and drive off. After that, I found my trail cam yanked off its tree, motion light unscrewed. Someone wanted me to know how close they could get. Tire tracks curled from the woods right to my back lot. Not a warning anymore, but a game. I wake at 2:40 in the morning to the crunch of boots outside. Real, heavy, deliberate. Cameras show 2 masked figures, flashlights scanning the windows, one poking around the door lock, the other sweeping the yard. I rack the shotgun loud and shout out the door. You step 1 foot closer, this turns into a felony scene. I call the sheriff, turn on every light, but they vanish into the woods, leaving behind a crowbar, a baseball bat, and a radio still chattering on a private channel. I document everything, send it all to Colton, old friend, ex-homicide. The kind of guy who never lost a receipt or a grudge. He calls, voice tight. You safe? For now, I say. He drives out that night. Colton's good. We walk the perimeter, examine the prints, review the footage. He recognizes Henry Lott from old police work, bounced from traffic enforcement for excessive force, now moonlighting as an HOA heavy. Colton's theory, this isn't just about me. This is a pattern. Vacant properties, isolated owners, pressure campaigns till you cave or sell. Predatory. They want to see if I'll bend. A few quiet days, then the real boss shows up. Karen Sheldon, HOA president. She steps out of a Lexus in pearls and sunglasses, holding a peach pie like she's in a Sunday church raffle. Tries to sweet-talk me. Welcoming committee, neighborly concern, all that, except every word's dipped in poison. I tell her straight, I'm not part of your club, I've got my deed, I'm not paying your fees. Smile never cracks, but her eyes go cold. We'll be in touch if anything arises, she says, placing the pie on my railing. I let it sit there, untouched. That night, the harassment goes high-tech. Barking dog recordings from hidden speakers, high-pitched buzzes, flickering lights, generator glitches. Colton and I run diagnostics. Nothing's failing naturally. It's all sabotage. Psychological warfare, he mutters. They want you exhausted, gone. Friday, a guy in a windbreaker shows up with a phony deed for a 15-foot sliver of my lot. Shell Corporation, fake signatures, a bluff. We chase him off. The noise escalates, smashing glass loops, mysterious knocks at 4 a.m., always just out of view. I realize they're waiting for me to break. So I fake it. Make a video looking ragged, bags in my truck, talking burnout, heading to Spokane for a break. Post it to my old YouTube channel. Leave the gate unlocked, lights off, cameras obviously down. That night, 2 more figures creep in, one for the shed, one for the front door. As soon as they hit my thermal cam's blind spot, I light up the yard with sirens and floodlights, shotgun ready. One bolts, the other tries to flee in his Jeep, but Colton's parked right behind him, gun drawn, waiting. Deputies show up fast, arrest the guy, Craig Marlowe, security volunteer for the HOA, carrying radios, gloves, and a map marked with all my camera and power lines. We turn the evidence into a story, body cam, thermal cam, Colton's dash cam, the works. Upload it. Cabin defense caught on camera. By noon, it's viral. By night, national news. Hashtags are trending. Suddenly, every HOA victim in the state is in my inbox, sharing horror stories. Then the smoking gun arrives, leaked HOA emails. Apply noise cycle. Disable solar. Stage another presence event. He's cracked. Colton says, this isn't an HOA dispute anymore. It's a criminal conspiracy. We send everything to the state prosecutor. Monday at the courthouse, it's standing room only. Karen Sheldon walks in like she owns the place, but her eyes dart. Prosecutors read the charges: conspiracy, falsification, surveillance, harassment, trespassing. My videos roll on a screen. Testimony from other victims. A retired man run off his land. A woman whose dog was poisoned. Stories piling up. Henry Lott tries to play dumb, but admits under oath he knew I wasn't part of the HOA. Karen cracks on the 3rd day, caught calling me a disease that needs to be excised and urging any means short of murder to get me out. She blows up in court, shouting about conspiracies, dragged out by security, press eating it up. In the end, Karen gets 14 years for conspiracy, Henry 8 for harassment, other officers a mix of sentences. The HOA is dissolved, its money turned into a victim restitution fund. Outside, Karen's loaded into a van, screaming she was just protecting the neighborhood. The headlines write themselves. Afterward, the land finally feels clean. I rebuild the gate stronger, smarter. Fix up the cabin. Add a deck for watching sunsets over the lake. Colton and I drink beer there sometimes, talk about the old days. My YouTube channel becomes a hub for people fighting back. Landowners, lawyers, ordinary folks tired of bullies. Cabin rights, they call it now. Clearwater Bay turns quiet. A ghost town with no one left to harass. I get a letter from an old neighbor, Mabel. Thanks me for breaking the fever. Sends me a real peach pie recipe, not the weaponized kind. That pie tastes like victory, even if I burn the crust most times. Sometimes, justice doesn't show up in a courtroom, or a headline, or a viral video. Sometimes it's just a silent night, A clean breeze off the lake, the crackle of a fire, and the feeling you carved out a home you had to fight for. Last week, I added a new sign under my no trespassing notice. It says, "Smile, Karen. You're on camera." Just for old time's sake. So what do you think? Did justice win this time? Or is the battle for places like this just getting started? Let me know. Share your own story, your own fight. This isn't just my war, it's yours too.